Want to know how to make your workflow faster and easier? Stay tuned. Hey, it's Jacob. Welcome to this new video. And today I want to talk about how to enhance your workflow in a way that is a little bit unusual and that people don't necessarily think about. So it's going to be about workflow. And it is going to be for like beginners, for how do you get started with like making your workflow a lot better when you don't know where to start, right? So there are two things to keep in mind when it comes to workflow, productivity, and making things a lot easier and faster. There is the probability of something happening, and there is the impact. Most people don't understand probability is like frequency, right? Those are the same thing. Like how frequently do you make an error, and how big of an impact does it have, right? People usually think, well, this is something that I do often. But if it's something that doesn't matter, then it's fine, you know? Intuitively, we understand that, but when we start thinking about it, usually people get confused because, mathematics and stuff, like sometimes people, they don't necessarily, they just think about like probability for some reason. They never think about the impact. Even though, like mathematically, when we actually look at the math behind it, when you look at, like, for example, a casino or whatever thing that involves probability, they actually do what is called like I forgot the word, the expectancy, right? They calculate the expectancy. The expectancy is the probability multiplied by the impact. And if the expectancy is positive, then that means it's good. If it's negative, then it's not. And guess what? Like everything in a casino is, they make sure that over time, how much they're gonna earn is going to be it's going to increase because the probability is good enough. And if they don't earn that much money for a very specific game, then the probability of winning is going to be very high for them, right? Because again, those are just two dimensions, and they actually have the same weight. It's just multiplying one by the other. But so that's a long way to explain that this is something we need to incorporate into our workflow if we're going to think about that. If we are going to be more efficient, this needs to be priority number one, because it's just how the world works. It's just how probability works, right? So let me explain here and get a little bit more give you an actual example, right? More pragmatic. So for example, if you're gonna let's say you want to record a video, right? We say you are doing a video. This is just an example, but because that's what I'm doing right now. But if you want to record a video, then you have probably a lot of different things you need to do. For example, you need to set up the camera. You need to set up, if you do what I'm doing right now, it's screen recording, right? You need to record your screen. You need to also set up the mic, right? Make sure everything is set up. Well, guess what? That happened to me. And that if you are doing that, that's probably going to happen to you at least once. You know, you're gonna forget to record, like do the screen recording. You need to push the correct button, and sometimes there are things that you forget to do, or either because of the way it was set up, it kind of recorded. It started recording and then it stopped for some reason. You know. So those are steps that are crucial, like the impact on your time. That's why I want to go back to the impact that it can have, right? The impact here, if let's say you're doing the entire video and it's like 10 or 20 minute video, then you just wasted 10 to 20 minutes. And at the end of it, and it's not just time, right? Like, because it's a lot of energy to do that also, and you don't want to have that type of impact. Right, so the impact can be measured in many ways, right? Like it's not just about time; it's also about energy. Energy is massive. People forget to take those things into account. But wasting your energy is not a small thing, right? Like if you waste energy, then you're going to things are not going to go well for you. Like the workflow is also optimizing your workflow is also about optimizing your energy when you're doing the things. So that's basically how you look at the impact here. So why am I talking about that? Then it's because, like, well, you just need to understand that not everything is equal, and some of those tasks here are more important than others. For example, if you forget to, I don't know, like, if you forget a bullet point in your script when you're doing your video, then it's fine. It's not that big of a deal, or maybe it is for you. But I'm just saying it's not as big of a deal as if you forget to set up the mic correctly, because then you don't have a recording either. So those steps are crucial. I'm not just saying that just to tell you, well, this matters and that's it. You need to be careful about that, right? I'm also gonna give you right now the solution to it. So if you are doing that, the main thing to keep in mind is to have a separation between, let me put that in green so that I can emphasize it, a separation between the task, the execution of the task, and the process of executing that task. So as I said, this is a video for beginners, but this is the number one thing. If you're completely lost and don't know anything about workflows and how to be more productive and do less efforts basically and get leverage, this is the number one step. Because then, let's say the task is recording, then the process is going to be something like that with all of the different steps. And all of the steps like set up the mic, how to do it, and blah, 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 right? But also you can now add, if you know that these are problems or these are crucial and these are things that you have made mistakes, you've made mistakes about those things before, then you can add steps to that, right? So basically doing like checks, different types of checks, double checking, triple checking, like doing a lot more testing to make sure that those things are getting done correctly. A lot of people think that when they want to create a tool to do something for them, they think about a tool that is going to do the thing, right? So they're thinking about this part. But the thing is, they never think about like actually doing, like making sure that things are working correctly, right? Those two things are two separate things, and they, in my opinion, this one is the most important one in terms of creating a tool for it. Because this is something that is, those two things can be done either manually or can be done with a tool, right? Like you can do the setup. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now as well, right? I'm doing the setup of my recording automatically. So setup here. And I also do the checking, the different checks to make sure that the mic is can correctly record things, that the screen recording is set up correctly, that the camera is working. Like all of those checks are also they are being done automatically with a custom tool that I built, and this one is more important than the other one. When I say more important, I'm saying the sequencing of things matter. So, for example, if you're going to go to the dentist and you you pull your teeth out first and then you do the anesthesia, then the experience is going to be extremely different from doing the reverse. One of them is going to be a tiny bit more painful than the other. So this is what I'm talking about here. This is the thing that is, you need to do that thing first, and then if you want to do the thing here, the setup manually, or if you want to start working on a tool that is doing it automatically, you can, but only after you did the things that have a high impact. Because doing that task here, if you make mistakes, this is not going to be, it's not going to have that high of an impact if the checking is done correctly. Because it's not going to be, you're not going to record something and then it's not going to work, because the checking is going to be done correctly and you're going to identify it. The worst thing that can happen is you forgot to do that task, you check, and then you go back to doing that task that you forgot that you needed to do, right? That's the main thing that can happen. So that was just a video about like just for beginners. But again, this is really important, and that's the first step. If you are not there yet, like that will be like the number one thing, that is the 80-20 basically of workflow enhancement. If you start doing the tasks and the process, and you see those two things as separate things that you need to work on, independently, then that's when you're gonna start getting like the most return on your investment. So that's it for this video. If you want to be part of my contacts, click on the link in the description, and if I want to share something with you, I'll send you an email. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.